Hi everyone, I'm Seanne Heath and we're thrilled that you've tuned into our program today. This show is called Heart Matters and we really enjoy sharing stories that come from the heart. We believe that God is concerned about the things that concern us and He is always working to mend our brokenness. In this show, we'll hear from a woman who has endured more than her share of heartache. Listen in as Debbie Samson shares some of her story of trauma, healing, and faith. Also joining us as today's musical guest, we're pleased to have Sherry Legge from Cornerbrook, accompanied by some of her friends from First Pentecostal Church. We really hope our time together is a blessing to you. Enjoy the show.
You show me every breath is from you, every fingerprint part of you. I am yours from start to end. You hold me, and even when I wander, you are never farther than just a word away. I say Jesus.
Heart Matters will return in just a moment.
From envelopes to tractor-trailer loads, Dooley's Trucking caters to all your shipping needs. Capable of meeting all your shipping requirements throughout Newfoundland. Dooley's Trucking is your choice for fast and efficient delivery. Ship with the best. Ship Dooley's.
My name is Brandon. I'm the owner here at Gander Appliance and Furniture. We sell a wide variety of appliances and furniture, including Canadian-made Decorest, Ashley Furniture, Samsung, as well as Whirlpool. Please visit us at 292 Airport Boulevard here in Gander. Also visit us at our location in Lewisport at 1 Fairview Street.
Closed captioning provided by Terry's Tents, in business for 30 years, providing canvas fabrication, printing, embroidery, craft supplies, and more, located in Happy Valley, Goose Bay.
My name is Debbie Samson, and I am the author of my own story. It's called A Recipe for Complex PTSD and PNES. It's about my life story, how I developed both of those mental illnesses, and prior to coming to where I live right now, which is a little tiny road called Fox Point, which is just outside of Hampton on the west coast of Newfoundland. I lived in Labrador City for 40 years, and I worked there as a counselor for 25 years. When I became ill, I had to give up my job, which was devastating. 10 years ago, I developed complex PTSD. I had no idea that I had it. A lot of people don't know what complex PTSD is. People are familiar with PTSD. PTSD, we're familiar with it because we hear of the soldiers who have gone to war and they come back, and the horrors that they've seen cause them to have a mental illness called post-traumatic stress disorder. I have complex post-traumatic stress disorder, which basically is from living definitely a childhood, physical, mental, sexual abuse. And then as an adult, I still had abuse and trauma in my life. So all of that trauma puts your body into the stress response. So I lived all of those years until 10 years ago when I crashed. I lived all of those years with my life, with my body in the constant stress response. It's the way, as a child, my brain was affected, my development of my brain was affected, and that's how it was affected because there was just so much trauma in my life. I went from different foster home to different foster home. I was a troubled teenager. I ran away. They put me in a group home. I was in detention homes. I was in a group home. One particular group home that I was in at that time, which was in the 70s, I acted out, as did, I wanted to fit in, so I was acting out like the other children that were in the group home, and we were not listening, not obeying the rules, that sort of thing. And as a punishment, I was put in a padded room. I can feel that now, even as I talk to you about it. I was put in a padded room, and I think it was the first time I experienced panic, and I think that's where my panic attacks started, probably from there. So as I was writing the book, I was writing about being put in that padded room and left in there, and I just I went back there. I was panicking again. So I remember I picked up the phone and I called my daughter, who was absolutely amazing, and she's there, Mom, shut down the computer, close the cover, come on, let's have a chat. And we talked our way through it and got through it. So it was difficult to write the book because I relived all the painful experiences and trauma and abuse that I endured, but it was the most therapeutic thing that I've done. I'm just going to do a little reading from a chapter in my book. It's called Childhood Innocence Robbed. As I reflect on my childhood, it's difficult to find happy moments. For a long time, I secretly wished I was adopted and that one day my adoptive parents would come looking for me. I grew up in Newfoundland, a small rural community where things were kept hush. At a very young age, I realized that in order to survive the abuse that was happening at our house, I had to make every effort to become invisible. I no longer call it a home because a home constitutes happiness, love, and belonging, none of which I felt. When I visited friends' homes for birthday parties, I felt an incredible warmth and love that was missing from our home. My one saving grace was Nanny, who took me under her wing and became my protector. In her eyes, Debbie could do no wrong. She was my world, the one person who taught and showed me unconditional love. If not for her, I would likely not be alive to tell this story. Whenever I hear old church hymns, I sit and soak up the memory of Nanny's soft, angelic voice as she sang from her hymn book. How Great Thou Art is particularly special to me. The lyrics and my memory of Nanny singing it bring me a heavenly feeling of comfort and peace. And when I hear it, my body sinks into a deep, relaxed state. I'm so thankful Nanny instilled in me a belief of something greater than us. It has helped my spirituality grow and brought me peace when I felt I had nowhere to turn. I lived with panic attacks, I lived with anxiety, depression, and I lived with all of those things and still managed to educate myself, have children, raise children, have a career, but it was always there. But I tried to push it down, and eventually, 10 years ago, I just couldn't push it down any further, and I just came crashing in, and I was on my way back to work one day, and I just wanted to drive my truck over the road because I just couldn't find a way to get out of the turmoil that I was experiencing. I didn't really want to die. I just wanted to find peace. Roughly 4 years ago, I guess, I started having seizures. Had no idea what was happening to me. My body would shake, violently shake, and I would not be able to form words. The seizures last anywhere from 45 minutes to 5 hours. I spent time at the hospital in Corner Brook on the psychiatric ward. That was a nightmare. I have a wonderful psychiatrist. He did not know what was wrong with me. My counselor didn't. Nobody knew what was wrong with me. Thankfully, I'm educated and am a counselor, and I just did the research myself, and I told my psychiatrist I have psychogenic non-epileptic seizures, and they're caused from my trauma. And he started doing some research of his own. He took some courses, and now he believes me, he knows what it is, and he can help other patients. So it's been a long, long road of healing, but I am much more well than I used to be, and it's been trial and error to get to where I am, and it's been a lot of hard work, and I've had a lot of support from everybody around me, and I was able to start healing, and I decided to write the book by telling people about mental health. I think I'm been called to help other people, but just in a different way, and it just feels like that's what I'm supposed to do right now. To continue healing, I do things. Sometimes if I feel anxiety, for example, my head comes into a fog at times. I live in nature. I'm surrounded by nature. So if I can go behind my house or to the beach where I collect sea glass and take a walk, and I do sea glass art, and that just puts me in a space, just in a good space in my head. And then when I see the finished product of the sea glass art, well, that's just so rewarding as well. Billy Graham once said, God never takes away something from your life without replacing it with something better. So, my career was taken from me. The people that have come forward and said, I read your book and I helped and it learned so much and it's all worth it. The people that have come forward and said, thank you for writing it. Thank you for speaking up. This happened to me. I can't speak up. Thank you for speaking up. And then the people, particularly with the PNES, the seizures, because it's so not known about. Even if it's not a mental illness, you can be in that deep, dark place if there's something that's happened in your life. And there is always hope. And that's the reason for writing this book. I'm living proof that there's hope, and I want to tell people about that because I want them to know that we all have a purpose and there's always hope. Don't ever give up. Yes, today might be a hard day, but tomorrow will be a better day. And sometimes we have to take, and I know from my experience, we take, all these steps forward, and sometimes life just pushes us right back. Don't ever give up. There's always hope, and there is a purpose for all of us. And if you can see a bruise, you'll take the child out of the home. But the bruise is inside. You have to look at that, and we have to protect our children. I see so many situations of children that have depression as teenagers, and it's just not understood well enough. I truly believe that God had a purpose for me, and I would not wish my life of horrors on anybody, but as I look back and see what I've been through and what I've come through and where I am, there was a purpose. God put me here for a purpose, and that was to help other people. We all have to realize that God has a purpose for all of us in life.
We appreciate all of you tuning in each week, and we'd love to hear from you. Send us an email or a message through social media telling us what you've enjoyed about the show, or give us a suggestion for an upcoming episode. And if you follow us online, you can keep up to date with the upcoming events and info. Still to come on today's show: The Bottom Line with Mike Freake, and more music from Sherry Legge when Heart Matters returns.
Looking for quality products and top-notch service? From lumber to paint and refrigerators to sofa, your local Notre Dame Home Furnishings and Notre Dame Castle Building Centers can help you complete your home, serving you from 16 locations across Newfoundland and Labrador, 6 days a week.
Scott's Transport Limited is a family-owned and operated full transportation company located in beautiful Deer Lake. In business for over 25 years and with a fleet of modern equipment and dedicated team, we service the growing needs of businesses from Newfoundland and Labrador to Ontario and locations in between. If it matters to you, it matters to us.
Well, finally, after 2 years of grounded flights and lockdowns, people are finally able to start traveling again. And there's nothing like the feeling of going to an airport, going through security, knowing that you're on your way to a sunny destination. Now, I love Newfoundland, but oh, how good would it be right now to be leaving Newfoundland weather and heading down south. Now, for those of you who like to fly, you know that when the fasten seatbelt sign comes on, it means one of three things are happening. You're either taking off, you're either landing, or you're experiencing turbulence. In the case of taking off, well, we know what to expect. When we're landing, the same thing, we know what to expect. But in mid-flight, when the fasten seatbelt comes on, well, you just don't know, do you? Funny thing about turbulence, you don't know when it's going to happen, you don't know how bad it's going to be, and you don't know how long it's going to last. Well, I'm sure that if you've flown, you probably have stories of when the airplane hits a rough patch of air and ends up more than just a plane flying. Things fall, bellies drop, drinks get knocked over. Bad turbulence is never fun. Turbulence in life is guaranteed. You will experience turbulent times, and you don't know when it's going to happen, you don't know how bad it's going to be, and you don't know how long it's going to last. Wait, but if I love God and I'm serving Him, doesn't that mean less turbulence and not more? You know, if I give my life to Jesus on a Sunday, isn't Monday going to be great and going to be perfect? Won't my kids start getting better grades and eventually get drafted into the NHL? No, absolutely not. Serving God does not mean that you will never have turbulent times, and that's not the way faith works. If you read the Bible at all, you will see that it is written by people who were in the midst of uncertainty and turbulent times. And if you quote your favorite Bible verse or recall your favorite Bible story, I guarantee it's written against the backdrop of turbulence. Whether it's the story of David and Goliath or the birth of Jesus, all turbulent times. So whatever turbulence you're facing today, whether it's a problem that you're facing with your children, or the doctor just called, or your job is at risk, or your marriage is struggling, whatever the case may be, as with an airplane, we are never in control. We are not the pilot. There's only three types of people watching today's program. There are those who have just come through turbulence, there are those in the middle of turbulence, and those who are about to experience turbulence. Well, isn't this encouraging today? Well, it actually is. It is because faith reminds us that no matter what we are going through and no matter what we may potentially face in life, the bottom line is this: God is always with us. He always loves us, and He can always be trusted, and He's always in control of the plane.
If my heart is overwhelmed and I cannot hear your voice, I'll hold on to what is true, though I cannot see. If the storms of life they come and the road ahead gets steep, I will lift these hands in faith. I will believe. And I remind myself of all that you've done and the life I have because of your Son. Love came down and rescued me.
Mountain high or valley low, I sing out and remind my soul that I am yours. Wow, if we could just remember that promise in the heat of our daily battles, it will change everything. The fact that we belong to God and He holds us firm in the palm of His hand is life-giving. I want to thank Sherry and her team for singing that over all of us today. I also want to thank Debbie Samson for sharing her heart with us as well. Friends, in this uncertain and unsettled world we are living in, it's such a blessing to have a faith that's anchored in something solid, and we believe that solid rock is Jesus. We're so glad that you took the time to be with us today, and we hope that you come back again next week for another episode of Heart Matters.